And we are staying on with news from China. We have been telling you time and again on this very show how the Uighur Muslims in China are being oppressed by the Chinese authorities. We've been getting you stories of their plight, what all they have been subjected to. But this time, it's not some type of spyware that's targeting the ethnic group. China is now taking things a step further. It is using actual spies to make sure that Uyghurs are not fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. How exactly are spies targeting this group? And to what extent will China go to oppress the Uyghurs? A report by Radio Free Asia saying that the spies, whom China calls Uyghurs, quote-unquote, are ordinary citizens and the police of an area near Turpan in the eastern Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. This might sound alarming, but some of the spies are members of the Uyghur community itself, according to the report. And this is nothing new for the Uyghur Muslims, by the way. Starting 2017, Xinjiang started banning Uyghurs from fasting during Ramadan. China has relentlessly tried to destroy their culture by detaining Uyghurs in so-called re-education camps in hopes to diminish their language and religion. And this year, China has stepped up its game by prohibiting everyone from fasting, regardless of their age, gender, or profession. The holy month of Ramadan, which runs from the 22nd of March to the 20th of April, might witness Uyghurs secretly fasting in their closets, as fasting is now considered a crime in China. So why is fasting so crucial during the holy month? You see, Muslims consider this time of the year as a month of fasting, prayer, reflection. Fasting during Ramadan is one of the key practices in which Muslims are urged to abstain from eating or drinking between sunrise and sunset. During the first week of the holy month, Chinese authorities interrogated 56 Uyghur residents and former detainees. The police arrested 54 of them for violating the anti-fasting law. And what was the punishment? Well, the police has not spoken a word about what they do to the so-called criminals. And why would the Chinese recruit spies from the Uyghurs, from their own community? Well, China says the language barrier is the reason. Authorities cannot seem to understand the Uyghur spoken word, and thus Uyghurs are made to spy on their own community members. But why would one spy on their own people? Well, it's China, and orders are orders. The police saying that some police stations have over 200 officers. Most of them are Uyghurs. So there are spies in the police force who observe the Uyghur officers, whether they are fasting during Ramadan. That's not all. The Uyghur officers who are under continuous surveillance are made to keep an eye on the Uyghur residents. I say this as the elderly and children are under special attention and surveillance. The police believing that the older people have rigid ideas and don't want to change, and children are easy to confuse and thus are susceptible to the words of the adults. But let's just talk more about the ones who are being oppressed, the Uyghurs. They face a continuous threat of complete erasure. As China continuously targets the community, China has gone to the extent of using a spyware campaign to target the Uyghurs through Android apps, including messaging services and prayer time applications as well. Some firms created app features which would detect and alert a person when a Uyghur is close by. The UN has taken note and called out China regarding its absurd behavior towards the cultural group. It has said that China is responsible for serious human rights violations against the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. But how many more painful acts of oppression will the Uyghurs have to face? WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.